Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. Where else would you want to be? As usual, my friends. Drink it if you got it. Yes, 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 yes. I have to take a second and savor that. Wow. It's good to see everybody this morning. Look at you all piling in. And here we go. Again, outside today. Yes, it's not that cold. Not that cold, I didn't think. It was supposed to be cold, but evidently a little warm front kind of snuck up from the south. It's going to be 70 degrees today. A little overcast, but beautiful morning nonetheless. Don't need the knit cap today. Just wear a baseball cap. So 74 of you already. Wow. That's great. Great to see you. And the chat is going crazy. The chat is going crazy. I think I'll just start with a quick run through for all the early birds while we wait for the rest of the Mitch Fits to chime in. And if you look at the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you can see my little morning coffee logo. But I have something new I can put up there. And I may put it up there for a little while later, but I'll show it to you now. It's the Mitch Fits logo. And I'm going to show you in a little while when I get to the show notes. I have a new t-shirt. And it's cool. So I'm going to show it. Everybody seems to have wanted one of those. So you asked for it. You got it. But for now, we'll put the coffee logo back up there and let me get on with the chat and start welcoming the early birds. Of course, I didn't create this stream until later last night, after the private community live stream that we had, which was great. Went a full 2 hours. We had a great time. Great time. So after that, about 10:30, B81 Mac was the first. Congratulations. And he says, see all my fellow Mitch Fits in 10 hours. Carnivore Butcher chimed in not long after. Aunt B chimed in. The Furl Grandma chimed in last night. Gary Arzamendi said, pass the salt and throw me the butter. Hey, Mitch, have a great day. So now I got two people. Out there that are just desperately trying to find salt and butter. Anna Kurzawa checked in. Lady June checked in. How you doing, Lady June? Trisha is pursuing better health, chimed in Bob. Black, middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. Another insomniac, how you doing? Wanda Girling chimed in. Morning, Mitch Fitch. It has happened. I fell from grace of my meat kingdom. I am really disappointed in myself and why and how it came to be. I'm just shy of 1 year, and right now my stomach hurts so bad. Wanda, it's happened to all of us. It happened because of the strength of carb addictions. We talk about that all the time. You'll be fine. One day, one cheat. You won't let it happen again. Terry Sue, 1:23 a.m. pee break. Holy cow. Good morning. Lynn Gerber, 4:27 a.m. I was already up at I was up at 4 a.m. this morning. And I went to bed a little late last night because of the live stream, but I still woke up at 4, bounced out of bed, went in, created a video that I'm going to release this afternoon, and created the new t-shirt design. All that before like 6:30 this morning. So when you get up, if you got something you can be productive doing, do it. Do it. Nikki W. checked in. Tuka checked in this morning. Good morning to you, Tweeting Pearls here. Nikki W's here. Wayne Herman. Granny Boo 2 checked in. Now we're up around 7 o'clock. Good. Mike Seeley, that's father of United Carnivore from Melbourne, checked in. Patty Molden, how you doing? And shortly thereafter, Mike Seeley Jr. from Tampa Bay. Jeff Johnson said hi. Boyd Lamb checked in. Smoothie 420. Rick in Miami. Richard Williams checked in. Peter Papa Carnivore says good morning. Carbohydrate abstainers. And I even checked in at about 12 minutes after 8. Michael Pregler's here. Tina's here. How you doing? Good to see you. Josephine C. checked in. Scott Evans, Carnivorous, Catwoman, Sandy Blythe. Look at you all. Deborah Wise Gal. Wow, I don't recognize your name. Good morning to you. Good morning. Steve Studley, last night was fun. It was fun, wasn't it, Steve? Had a great time. Josephine C. again. Tanya is here. Hiya, Tanya. Good morning to you, Kitchen Witch. Edward Renner checked in. Aaron, Booby Goats. Get a bit of warm, 59 degrees. Oh, that'd be great before the Siberian air comes in and ruins Tennessee. Yeah, I think they're talking about northern Florida will probably get some snow from this next blast that's coming in Sunday, I think. But we're going to have very nice weather until Sunday, so you'll find me outdoors most of the time, maybe even Saturday afternoon during the live stream. It's going to be interesting. I may have to do it indoors because I'm hopefully have plumbers crawling all over the place and running back and forth behind me out here on the patio. We'll see. Greg Smith checked in, 8:26. How you doing? And CB's with us. Good morning, CB. How are you? Mitchwell House coffee lovers. Oh man, you guys just keep coming up with it. Clever, CB. Edward Renner checked in. Good morning from San Diego. The Carnivore Butcher is here. We still haven't gotten 8:30 yet. Still early birds. Carl, Carnivore Forever West. It's another one I don't recognize. Welcome. Glad you found me here this morning. Wow, isn't that great? Cecilia Heil from Panama. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. And Lewis L. from New York is here. How you doing, Lewis? Forget about it. He thought he might be first at 8:30, but he jumped the gun because there's still people at Jason H. as well, and Terry Sue at 8:29, and Lori at 8:29, and Lewis again trying to be first. I love the competition. Gary, no slow. Almost. Close, Gary. But no cigar, my friend. The winner this morning, ding, ding, ding. Tom, Viking 442 from Tampa, right on the money. Congratulations. Revel in the victory. For what it's worth. Princess Mom is here. 8:30. Robbie Autry chimed in. How you doing, Robbie? Good to see you. Rick at 8:30. Gary Arzamendi again at 8:30. Smoothie 420. Lori. Resting Witch Face. I love that name. I just love that name. The Happiest Carnivore. You added that. I don't remember that being there the last time you were here. Also at 8:30, William McCartney, Dixie Scott, And good morning, Ketra. Peter chimed in. It's showtime. Yes, it is. Lori and Bryce Hatch and Gary again. And holy cow, Eve Puckett chimed in. Rusty Halligans, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Still 8:30, and that was the last of the 8:30s. And Aaron, Booby Goats. What's a little strange to me, I guess she says, I would actually shell out money for a Mitch Fitz t-shirt. Well, you'll have that chance now, my friends, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And let me see who I haven't said hi to real quick. Hi, Terry Sue. Gary comments, holy cow, look at all of you. And we do say holy cow, don't we? We don't say like holy broccoli. Very appropriate. Very appropriate. And anybody I haven't said hi to yet, and then I'll get on to my little show notes. If you have a question for me, you know the drill. Put QQQ, capital Q's, 3 of them or more, if you really want me to notice it, in the chat before your question, and I will endeavor, as always, to get to all of them that I can find, even if we have to go long, which is always the case. Carnivorous Cat Mom says, I want a shirt. Okay, glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Anybody else new? Danny in Boston chimed in. Tammy's here. Hiya, Tammy. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. And I see the same names going by. So you're all in chatting mode already. Wow. Wow. I think that's about it. Mama Bear chimed in, 8:36. And 10, 12 minutes, I dispatched all of that. So we will leave it right there and get back to it after the show notes. After the show notes. Not a whole lot today. I said questions before the chats. As usual, I need to make it very easy for anybody that would really like to buy me a coffee. The link is in the chat. Always appreciated, my friend. If you think that you want to help support what I'm doing and it's helping you, and it's a great way to show your appreciation to me and help me out, buy me a coffee. The link is in the chat, and I'll repeat that down the road. We have 110 people so far this morning. Welcome. Good to see you. Okay, so got the crass commercialism out of the way. Again, I'll announce, and I've gotten a few RSVPs, and I think we're going to have a nice meetup here in Melbourne a week from this Tuesday, on the 28th of January, 11:30 a.m. at the Estampa Gaucha Brazilian Steakhouse in the Melbourne Square Mall here in Melbourne, Florida. We'd love to see you here if you can make it and you want to come. RSVP, respondez s'il vous plaît to me at my Gmail address, oldguycarnivore@gmail.com. Doesn't have to be an elaborate message. Just tell me I'm planning to be there or something like that. That'd be great. The more of you that we can meet, the more fun it's going to be. And the more damage we'll do to that restaurant with the amount of meat that we eat. Because we don't fool around with no stinking salad bar or any of that other stuff that they put out there. to try to get people to fill up on bread and salad bar and everything else before they have to bring out the expensive meat. But yet they still want to keep seeing us. Maybe it's because our eyes are usually bigger than our stomach, and meat is so satiating and satisfying that maybe we really don't hurt them because we eat like we're supposed to. At any rate, they still love us there, so as long as they love us, we'll keep doing it. Got my blood test results this year, and I'm very happy with them. I'm not going to go over them. I'm going to make a video about them, but I'll give you just a couple of the highlights. My cholesterol, my LDL, is now close, I think it's 440 something. Last year it was 340 something. So my cholesterol has increased since last year as I settle and become more and more of a carnivore. My HDL was 71. My triglycerides were a little higher, and I'll discuss my thoughts on that. I may go actually have that retest. They weren't out of this world, but they were higher than a couple points higher than last year, and I have my theories on why and whether it means anything or not as a fat burner. But I'll talk about that. But that was the only number that that was a little higher than I expected. And for Cliff Medina and Boyd Lamb and all of the old regular OGs around here who keep nagging me about my vitamin D level, which was 30 last year, the absolute bottom of the normal range. And this is important, and this was the experiment that I did in spite of the recommendations that I take massive doses of a vitamin D supplement. For a year, since I had my blood test last year, I have been taking pretty much the minimum dose that you can find, 5,000 international units in a capsule with K2, vitamin D3 and K2. There's a link to exactly what I've been taking because it worked. On my links to stuff I use page on my website, OldGuyCarnivore.com, there is a link to the exact product I use. I researched it. It looked like one of the most legitimate sources of supplements. For 1 year, every day, with food, immediately after my first meal, I took one capsule, 5,000 IU. Something that everybody said was such a small, insignificant dose that it would make no difference. My vitamin D level is now 64. 64 instead of 30. So I am thrilled about that. I don't see a need for me to take any more vitamin D than that one capsule a day. And that was my best surprise, along with another number. My testosterone, which was 629 last year, which I thought was stellar for an old fart like me, is now 908. In a range that maxes out at 950, according to them. That goes from like 300 to 950. I am such a stud now. It is astounding. It is astounding. It is astounding and calls for thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, my friends. 908. And that might account also for some of the rise in my vitamin D because, you know, cholesterol is a precursor for so many of these fat-soluble vitamins and what they call sex hormones. But my numbers were pretty much everything I'd hoped they would be. And that just makes me feel great and validates to me what I'm doing. My urinalysis was clear, except for one thing that came back with a high next to it, and that was ketones. There was a trace of ketones in my urine, which also was great news. It means that even though I pay no attention, I never measure ketones. I don't do anything. I've never, ever had a urinalysis come back with ketones in my urine. This time, there was a trace in there. That means I'm making more than enough ketones because when you spill a little into your urine, which is what everybody always wants to do, that's why they buy the test strips and pray they turn purple, that means that you're making more than you need. The medical community would look at that and think that that indicates something bad. That indicates things are working exactly as we believe they should be working. So I'm going to make a video, go over all the numbers. The only numbers that kept having highs after them were the lipids with the cholesterols. And I expected that, and I'm actually very happy about that. And I think that that's the reason so many of the other numbers. My vitamin B12 was through the roof. My vitamin D was finally above mid-range, and so it is all working, and it's been working, and I'm just about 2.5 years into no carbs, no cheating, nothing but meat and animal products. So that was great news, and I wanted to share that with you today. Everybody keeps asking me, have I gotten them yet? Have I gotten them yet? And I got them. All right. Let me get on and talk about the T-shirt. And in order to do that, I want to show you this. There it is. That's my merchandise store on Bonfire. And there's links to it everywhere. There's links to it in the show notes of every video I make. On my website, even on my Amazon links to stuff I use page, all the T-shirts are there. And anytime you click on those, it takes you to this page. And this, my friends, is the new Mitch Fits T-shirt. You can get it in a premium tee, a pullover hoodie, in any one of these different colors. You can pick the color you want. It's great. You can get a classic shirt. You can get that in either this color or gray. You can get a sweatshirt, and you can get that in all these colors. So anybody that thinks they want a Mitch Fits T-shirt, you can get a, there's another one here. Another supposedly incredible quality tee. I don't know, I've never gotten one of them, but they're available in green or blue. I don't really expect anybody to buy them. They're a little expensive. I know all these things seem like they're priced high. The best deal is this classic unisex. It's like $25, and I think they charge you shipping too, but you got to really want these things. I got them there for you. I don't push them. You never hear me talking about them. But this thing just came out great. Came out great, and I think it looks good whatever color you like. If you want all the fancy colors, you got to buy the premium T-shirt, which is a couple bucks more. I don't know what the difference is. And it comes in all these different colors. How about that? How about that? So, thank you, Tanya, and your husband, for creating that graphic. For creating that graphic for me. And thank you all for asking for this. I've had more requests for this particular t-shirt than anybody's ever requested any t-shirts from me before. All the other merch, all the other t-shirts, the coffee cups and everything will be on that same page that those links take you to. And enjoy it. Enjoy it if you want one. Enjoy it if you want one. And if you get one, or a coffee cup, or any of the other shirts, send me a picture so I can put it in the photo gallery on the front page of my website and show them off, show all of you off how good you look with your new slim bodies in an Old Guy Carnivore t-shirt of some variety or other. So that was fun. That was fun. I did that this morning, or in the middle of the night. I started at 4:30. I started working on it, got it done, got it up there, and it's now available. So there you go, my friends. There you go. Thank you so much. And a surprise first thing this morning, Gary Arzamendi from California, who gets up early, bought me 5 coffees. Thank you so much, Gary. Fact, he says in capital letters, I get up extra early to listen to my newfound friend and mentor. Thanks, Mitch. Have a coffee and take the rest of the day off and eat meat. Man, it's so gratifying to see so many people following in my footsteps. Because all I'm doing is telling you what I finally figured out that worked for me. And it's quite a validation. It's really heartwarming to see that that's working for so many people, and that I'm not like an oddball human being, unlike anybody else on the planet. In some respects, maybe I am, but not organically. I'm not. I'm just a human being like everybody else. I've just been carb addicted to the max because of the big food companies and their scientists and how they've just led us down this path to make us into slaves that are almost forced to buy the crap that they put out there and suffer the ill health consequences and the results of that. So glad it's working for you. And if you're having issues or having problems, that's why we're here every morning, because it ain't easy at first. It ain't easy. And we want to help you through it, motivate you, maybe help you over the rough patches. So thank you, Gary. Very much appreciated. Let me make sure that nobody else snuck in with one of these things while I'm there. No? Okay. Well, we'll come back to that later. Very, very nice of you. I had one more thing on here, I think, on my show notes. Where did it go? There it is. Yep. Yesterday on this live stream, I got into what turned out, when I rewatched it, to almost be a rant about the absurdity of the fact that just about everybody on the planet, especially those people who should know better, that are in the medical community and are supposed to understand human biology and physiology, who keep leading us to believe that cholesterol and LDL are the same thing, when they're clearly not. I've been ranting about that for a long time, and I answered a question yesterday where I was asked, what do I need to eat to have, what foods contain large, fluffy LDL? And I answered that question by giving like a 17-minute diatribe, half rant, half information, explaining what LDL is, how it works, what it's for, and why, with what I was told by many people since yesterday, was the first clear, relatable, and understandable explanation in terms that a layman could understand of what the difference was between a molecule of cholesterol and a lipoprotein. So I'm releasing a video this afternoon, sometime before 2. I think I have it set for 1:47 to hit, where I replayed that from yesterday. If you saw it yesterday, you may want to watch it again, but it will now become a legacy video, and I hope that thousands and thousands and thousands of people will view it so that it'll get a lot more coverage and maybe help a lot more people understand and maybe help save their lives when their doctor tells them, we need to get your cholesterol as low as possible. Because I've been doing just the opposite. I've been praying that my cholesterol is as high as possible, and I attribute that to the stellar test results I just got back on my blood work. A few of those I've told you about a few minutes ago. So you might want to watch that video again, be out this afternoon. And that was in response to a number of people on the private community live stream last night who actually took the time to tell me to do that. Greg Smith said, you need to make a standalone video out of that. That was the first explanation that I've ever heard that I actually understood exactly what you were talking about. So I think it's, unfortunately, YouTube doesn't promote my stuff. Unfortunately, it will not get hundreds of thousands of views. But one can hope. One can hope it might catch on. I'm proud of that. That 17 minutes came right off the top, unrehearsed, unscripted. It just came out of me. I marvel at that sometimes when I watch the replays. Say, where the hell did that come from? But it's things that I understand. But just understanding something and being able to teach it in a relatable way. I seem to have that skill. I have no idea where I ever got it. I don't know. But as long as I got it, I hope I can use it to maybe help people understand some of these complex issues that are so misunderstood. And in the case of cholesterol and lipoproteins, are the cause of so much mistreatment in the medical community. Okay, enough of that. Enough of that. If you have a question, again, QQQ in the chat. How we doing on time? Not bad, 9 o'clock. So I've managed to get myself 1/2 hour behind again in keeping up with all of you. So I'm going to start looking for questions. Have a sip of coffee. But first, since I'm outside, and knowing that none of you will be offended or think less of me for this, allow me to be who I am, the master of my own fate and destiny, something each one of us should be allowed unconditionally in this world. It's time for a little happy music while I light my cigar. One of the benefits of being outside. And believe it or not, my friends, I have 145 viewers now I keep a close eye on the viewer count when I do that. I want to see how many people get disgusted and go away. Lost one of them so far. That's an acceptable casualty. It's okay. It's okay. Because if you let that, if anybody lets that shut me off so they don't hear what we're saying, I'd like to think it's their loss, not mine. But that was it. And I know I make a big deal out of it, but what it leaves me with are just great people who aren't judgmental. I got one back. Now, 149. Okay, super. You guys love me. I love it. I love it. You know, as mean and nasty as I am, I try to be as lovable as possible here. All righty. So, all right, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Somebody. Aaron. Just was you're the first, Aaron. Booby Goats. Yes, the first to be the proud owner of a Mitch Fits t-shirt. How about that? How about that? And listen to this. I hope this doesn't embarrass you, Aaron. But true to carnivore, she ordered a size small. Congratulations. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. And David Desanye, my old friend. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Bought me a coffee. Eat your meat and never, I'm not going to even repeat that on here. Not going to repeat it. Sorry. It's very funny, though. I would expect nothing less from you, David. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, let's start looking for questions now. Enough fooling around here. I'm having a great time. I keep telling you that this is the highlight of my day. There is no time, no matter what I'm doing during the day, I have as much fun as my morning visit with you guys. Puffing on a cigar, drinking coffee, and screaming through the chat, which I better start doing right now. Okay, let's see here, and I'll try to say initially at least, hi to people I haven't said hi to yet. Cabby, good morning to you. Good to see you. And Princess Mom has a question. How do we send you pics? I couldn't find an email. My email is everywhere. Princess, it's everywhere. It's in every video in the description. It's actually even on the About section on my website. And it's a no-brainer. It's OldGuyCarnivore at gmail.com. Just all one word, OldGuyCarnivore at gmail.com. And I would love to see some pics. Love to. Send me some pics. I'll share them. I'll share them with the group. And if you don't want me to share them, make sure you tell me in the email. Because you send me a picture, it's likely to get shared. I assume a lot of people, that's what they intend. So yes, answered that question quickly. How about that? And Ness, TBG, Mitch is a national treasure. Holy cow, God bless her. Well, I don't know about that, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, if I could only get the rest of the nation to tune in here, we'd have something. It'd be a free-for-all. It'd be free-for-all. And Tanya, hey, Tanya, thanks again for that graphic, man. I love it. I love it. I'm trying to figure out a way to make a hat. People say they want a hat, so I've been working on that one. Okay, let's see. Anybody new or any questions? I need to start scrolling here because this chat is out of control this morning. Thomas is here. How you doing, Thomas? He joined us last night on private community live stream. Good to see. It appears he's growing his beard back. Steve Studley, how are you doing, my brother? I'll give you my stock answer. If I was any better, it would be illegal. It would be illegal. Wanda Gerling says, good morning, Mitch. Thank you. And Don Galasso's here. How are you? Good to see you. Life After Carbs. Chris chimed in. Here's a question from Gary. Gary says, carnivore helping decrease neuropathy in feet. Sound right, Mitch? It sounds absolutely right. One of the reasons there's no better diet for nerve health. Now, neuropathy can present as pain or numbness or combinations of both. Generally, I think that comes more from not enough cholesterol than anything else, because nerves, like the brain, have to conduct electric signals, and let's just call them wires so people can understand, have to be insulated or they short out. And that insulation is fashioned from cholesterol. This is why our brains work better, our moods are better, we think more clearly. And that same effect of having the amount of cholesterol that your body thinks it needs, and your body's programming is much smarter because it's been doing its thing for millions of years, and we just keep trying to outsmart it. If you leave it, do it at once. If you leave your cholesterol, if you eat right, that's the key. You eat the right food, don't eat the poisons, allow your cholesterol to find the level your body wants it to be, you will have enough of it to fix your brain, to help with your neuropathy. It may take a while. Depends on how much damage has been done or how much destruction to some of those nerve cells. But yes, I've experienced exactly the same thing. The numbness in my feet, certainly no more tingling or anything, it's gone completely. It's been gone for years now. I don't even think about it anymore. So yes, it does help. You're absolutely right. Thanks for pointing that out. I think that's something everybody should know. And I'm scrolling. If I don't talk for a second, it's because I'm puffing and scrolling. And, hey, Danny. Drone Worship, $5 super chat. Yeah, I'm stopping by to your area to visit Jim Boyd soon. An old friend of mine emailed me and said he's moving into my community. That'd be great, an old drone buddy. He lived here in south of me in Palm Bay, but it'd be great. I haven't seen him in years. It'd be great to connect with Jim again. And Dan says he's coming over from Tampa to connect with him. Yes, it will be great for all of us to get together. That would be fabulous, Dan. Just let me know. Let me know. You have my email. I think you may even have my phone number, but if you don't, my email is oldguycarnivore@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I'll reply and give you my phone number so we can connect. Be great to see you again, man. It's been a long time. Been a long time, and thank you for that. Those things do catch my attention when they're lit up bright green like that. That's Tammy says drinking coffee. I knew that, but I was up so early, and I actually had a couple cups of coffee, and that's why I said I before I even take that number seriously, and it wasn't really that high, but it was higher than I would like. I think I need to have them retested. Another thing that can affect that is a lengthy fast. You fast too long, your body starts trafficking a lot of fat, and that's triglycerides. So your VLDL, the initial size of a lipoprotein that comes from the liver, its initial job is to fill itself full of triglycerides and deliver energy to the cells that are burning fat. And yes, when you're in a state like that, your triglycerides are going to be, your triglyceride numbers can change dramatically from 1 minute to the next. It's a snapshot. That's the problem with all blood tests. They're a snapshot of an instant in time. And God knows, like blood sugar, your blood sugar can go from 80 to 300 in a few minutes. So when did you take the snapshot? And when I saw that, I said, I know what it was. I had had coffee that shoots them up. I had been fasting, oh God, almost 20 hours when I finally got to get my blood drawn. That wasn't any good. I had just one meal the day before, early, and it was too long. 12 hours fast is optimal for a blood test. So I'm going to go get those retested, but I don't even care. I know what it is. I know how it works. I'm not gaining an ounce, and the results of somebody with chronically high triglycerides is they keep making fat and storing it away, and I'm not doing that. So I know that whatever's happening in my body is what my body needs to be doing, and believe me, I trust my ancient programming. The reason I'm here was that it worked more than I trust any medical professional's opinion of what's wrong with me when there's nothing, I'm convinced, nothing wrong with me. I think it's all right. At any rate, good point. Good point, Tammy. Thanks for bringing that up. CB says, Mitch isn't telling us he's been sunbathing in a Speedo outside every day. Well, my friends, that's a mental image that you might never, ever get rid of, and I didn't want to go there with you. Actually, truth be told, none of that vitamin D increase that I got came from more sun exposure. I am not getting not an ounce more sun. I grab a little morning sun on my face. I very rarely run around in a bathing suit. I don't go to the pool. I'm not deep tanned anymore. And that one little tiny 5,000 IU capsule has more than doubled my vitamin D in the year I've been taking them, and I will continue to take them because that's all I need to see. I need to see results, and nobody can talk me out of that and give me a reason why not to believe my lying eyes. Everybody wants you to, don't believe your lying eyes. Yeah, I know you look healthy and everything, but according to your numbers, you're 1 minute away from a heart attack, and you need to get on these high dose PCSK9 inhibitor statins that are very powerful and hopefully get your cholesterol down around 30 or 40 so you can get dementia and finish your days sick and drooling in a nursing home. Seeing the doctor once every 2 weeks and supporting the pharmaceutical industry with this raft of drugs that you need to take because your cholesterol is high. Watch the video that I got coming out this afternoon. It'll maybe hopefully clear up a lot of that nonsense for you. Polish Mike says, good morning, boss. How you doing? Gary Arzamendi is warning all the ladies to watch out. Mitch has got a testosterone of 908. That one even blew me away. I couldn't believe it. Is there such a thing? Can you have hypertestosteronemia? Is that a thing? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, man, I'm having fun. You having fun? I'm having so much fun that I need to relight my cigar. And I am in such a good mood this morning that I doubt that I'll be complaining about anything. Not the morning news, not anything. Wow, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Here's one I haven't seen before. Dab Bog. Healing love all. Back at you, Dab. Good to see you. Jake W. Realtor's here this morning. Good morning to you. And CB is a victim of autocorrect this morning, as we all are occasionally. And I don't know what brought it to mind, but I think it's time to remind you and give you a convenient way to find my Buy Me a Coffee page. Thank you, my friends. I'm almost too happy to be embarrassed by that anymore. Sandy Blythe says, sit tight, I'm on my way to visit you. JK? I don't know. Are you coming to visit me? Explain that. Michael Pregler, I agree with you. He says, I'm with Kiltsy. I don't measure. Yeah, none of the people who really understand this stuff, Chafee, they don't live by the blood test numbers. Nobody should have to. All we do is screw ourselves up. Jonathan, my friend Jonathan from Alaska is here. Bags Pack family, good morning. And Jonathan is going to be a guest Wednesday morning. At least we're planning on it. Next Wednesday, he's going to, because we start late and he's 4 hours behind me in Alaska, he's going to come on. I'm going to introduce you to him. He's not going to be a co-host or anything, but he's going to visit us and introduce himself, because I talk about Jonathan all the time. And we do have a video chat every Wednesday night, talk about all things YouTube and other things. And I said, yeah, come on. So next Wednesday, he'll be coming to visit me. And I'm looking forward to it, Jonathan. Looking forward to it. All right, looking for questions. 8:54. I am 25 minutes behind, so it's been worse. It's been worse. Here's a question. I see some cues. Ketra Naylor. Mitch, with such astounding results in your blood work, are you still playing with the idea of adding rice to your diet? If so, why? I haven't decided yet. And from some of the things I've heard, CB Carmack pointed out in a comment, he's married to, I think she's Filipino, Asian. She eats a lot of rice, and he says that just screws with your oral biome, and you end up with not so pleasant breath from it, and starches do that. And he said that he found the best way to add a few carbs safely, if you want to, is with dairy. And get a little lactose. You don't need a lot. And that got me thinking, I'm in no hurry to do anything. I don't see any imperative to do anything yet. And I may never do it, but especially after seeing my blood results. But I want to leave it open, and if it's beneficial, I'll do it. But if I can't find a reason to do it, I probably won't. I don't need them. I don't want them. It would be like a supplement. It would be like a carb supplement. And, I don't think anybody knows enough about it yet. There are people that push it. I know that Rob Sivas sometimes, but, I agree with most of what he says. But like everybody else, there are things I disagree with. And I'm not saying he's wrong and I'm right. I say that my opinion at this point, with my level of insight and knowledge, I don't see the need. But we'll see. We'll see. And I'll keep you informed. I'm just an old walking laboratory as far as I'm concerned, and the door's always open to it. Mama Bear says, supposedly tobacco can reduce testosterone. This obviously does not include cigars. Well, there's the revelation about cigars. You're not inhaling any of that stuff into your lungs where it gets right into your bloodstream and can do the damage that it does. You're just puffing. So no, we are not ingesting any of the things in tobacco that they say. They should separate. And whenever they talk about smoking, they should always say cigarette smoking. They should never include cigars in that. And yet these are the same people that want to legalize marijuana everywhere on the planet and suck it down into their lungs, and not just suck it down in there, but hold it in there for a minute until they get stoned out of their mind. People don't think. They just don't think. What makes you think burning marijuana leaves is any less poisonous than sucking in cigarette tobacco? Ponder that. How about vaping? You think there's not some crap in that? In some respects, I think people would be healthier just continuing to smoke cigarettes. But, my opinion, haven't given it too much thought. All right, let's see. Looking for questions. Found a couple so far. David's here. Thank you for the coffee, my friend, and welcome. I know that I'm behind in the chat, but good to see you. Good to see you, man. What do we got? 170 people. Wow, wow, wow. For a Friday, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Mark's channel's here. How you doing, Mark? Good to see you. Everybody's talking. Standing Foot is here. Bart K says eating steak with veg prevents the uptake of nutrition from the steak. Well, that's something that should be incredibly obvious to anybody that has listened to Anthony Chafee for any length of time and heard him railing about all of the defense chemicals in plants. And they label so many of them anti-nutrients. And that's how they discourage animals and make animals sick. The animals are eating nutrients, but these chemicals bind up chemically with those nutrients and will not allow them to be digested. So you eat all the nutrients and then you crap them out. And that is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And some of those other defense chemicals are just flat out poisons. Where do you think arsenic comes from? It comes from plants. Lectins come from plants. It's not evolutionarily beneficial for them to be eaten to extinction. Had they not somehow developed these defense chemicals, their species of plant, whatever it might have been, would have gone extinct long ago, much like certain animals have gone extinct just from overhunting. If those animals had better defense techniques, could run faster, could outsmart the hunters, we'd still have bison roaming the plains. But they weren't up to it. They weren't up to it. And that's the same way that happens in the plant kingdom. Okay, let's see what else we got. Here's a question, DS111. Is it imperative that if people want to not worry about high cholesterol, they should avoid eating carbs? Because high blood sugar is what causes damage that cholesterol repairs. That is an absolute truth. The only time that cholesterol is needed is to repair the damage from inflammation caused by the sugar and other poisons. Sugar is a toxin. It can be used for energy in times of famine, but it doesn't negate the fact that it is a toxic chemical to the human body and combines chemically with things that, had it not combined with, could do their job But once that sugar gloms on, they become useless. The measure of that is how much sugar is glomming on to your red blood cells. My HbA1c was 5.1, which is perfect. Perfect. Before I went carnivore and I was keto, the lowest I ever had HbA1c was 4.9. But I kind of subscribe to the concept that as you get healthier, your red blood cells live longer. Because they live longer, they're immersed in what blood is in your sugar for a longer period of time, allowing more sugar to attach before they die. And that's why it's very, very common for a carnivore to see their A1C rise by 0.1 or 0.2. And that's what mine did. But it's still a great number, 5.1. Great number. Means that I'm as far from a diabetic as anybody could possibly be. And I'm tickled with that. Lat gave me a compliment, says, Miss Mitch, you definitely have a skill in communicating, especially facts and diets. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. I guess if I didn't, nobody'd be watching me. Yeah, Michael Pregler says, now it's ApoB. It's always going to be something. It's always going to be something. I don't think that's a meaningful number either. I don't think anything. I think let your cholesterol. That's what I think. And again, I'm not talking to you as a learned expert. The problem with being a learned expert is what the hell did you learn? Did you learn the misconceptions that your teacher believed? Yes. Why do you think all these doctors believe what they believe? Because they were taught that in medical school by people who had no idea. They were just following the course textbook, which was written by somebody who didn't know what they were writing about. Crazy. Hey, Ellen's here. Good morning, Ellen. How you doing? Off the walk. A dog. Happy Friday, she says. And everybody says hi to Ellen. And I'm looking for more questions. And I know you're commenting on things I said a little while ago. 9:30, this came in at 9:05. Well, I'm only 20-something minutes behind. But here is Peter Kruger from South Africa. Hi, Peter. How you doing? Why are sugar-free energy drinks and diet sodas bad for us? Well, let me count the ways. Depends on what angle you're looking at. Are you looking at it from a poison perspective? Or are you looking at it from a carb addiction trigger perspective? Because everybody's experience with these things depends on the problems that they have. I think you're not going to buy diet sodas that don't have chemicals in them. And so many of these artificial sweeteners are chemicals. And even the all-natural ones come from plants like stevia, and they are plants. And plants have chemicals, defense chemicals in them. The word all-natural doesn't mean anything. I joke that hemlock is also all-natural. So is cyanide and arsenic. They're all natural. They're not made in a laboratory. They come from a plant. So many of the medicines we use in small doses that in large doses would be deadly poisons do have some certain effects on the human body, and that's why we have developed so many medicines derived from plants, especially tropical plants in the jungle. And we use them all the time in medicine. We use curare to paralyze people during surgery. Not something you want to be eating all day long in mass quantities. It'll kill you. So there's that. There are chemicals in it. For me, I wasn't so much worried about the chemicals, which I never gave a second thought to until a couple of years ago. I was worried about the fact that it was a trigger. The sweet taste triggered my addiction. And that is, I think, the most common reason not to drink artificially sweetened anything. I've gotten to the point now where I even worry about whether my toothpaste is too sweet. Because a sweet taste, what it does, and here's why artificial sweeteners get you coming and going. And I'll give the brief little explanation. I don't want to get into it because it's a rabbit hole that we can just keep falling deeper and deeper into. But let's just talk about what's called the cephalic phase response. I've talked about that before. The cephalic phase response comes, and it's a cascade of biological processes that get started when, for some reason, your body anticipates the ingestion of sugar imminently. Because the body has to do things to prepare to handle the sugar that's coming in. Just like when you start to eat, you start a whole series of digestive processes, including manufacturing acid for your stomach. And that starts before the food even hits your stomach, just the anticipation, because the body needs to get ready. It needs to prepare. Kind of like you pack a suitcase when you go on vacation. You're not on vacation yet, but you're preparing. You've initiated a series of events so that you'll be ready when you walk out the front door and go on vacation. You've turned off your lights, you set your alarm system, you pack your suitcase, you buy your airline ticket. All those things happen before you're actually on vacation. Well, a whole bunch of stuff happens when we get signals and cues that sugar is going to be ingested. And the first, and they call that the cephalic phase response. And the first thing that happens is your pancreas squirts insulin into your bloodstream. Because in order to keep yourself from going into a diabetic coma from a huge blood sugar spike when you ingest that, your body says, we're going to preempt that by putting insulin in the bloodstream, and insulin does a lot of things. We know sugar's coming. How do we know? Well, we are either thinking about it, we walked by a bakery and smelled it, or we tasted something sweet as sugar, and that's artificial sweeteners. And the minute that sweet taste hits your mouth, your body goes into action. Puts insulin in your bloodstream. Insulin does 100 different things in the body, but the main things it does is it encourages the cells to pull sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cell where it'll be used for energy. It also tells your fat cells, listen, here's an opportunity, fat cells, to fill up the gas tank a little bit. So while we're in this particular state, don't let fat out. You go into fat storage mode. Now you got all this insulin in your bloodstream. All these things are started. What's happening? Your blood sugar starts to go down because your cells are grabbing it up where they were maybe happily fat burning before that. But now all of a sudden, this thing we call the Randle cycle is looking at the levels of sugar in your bloodstream and making the decision for each cell as to whether to go into sugar burning mode or fat burning mode. Well, you're drinking a diet soda with no sugar. All of a sudden, your cells are saying, hey, man, sugar's coming. We're getting sugar in here. The insulin in the blood is telling us to open the transports, let the sugar in, and your blood sugar starts to go down. And then you've pulled a fast one on your physiology. You've pulled a sleight of hand. There's no sugar. There is no glucose. And your whole system looks and says, WTF? Where the hell is the sugar? We have just started emptying sugar out of the blood, expecting there to be a surge of sugar coming in to replace it, and it's not there. And the net effect of that is your blood sugar plummets. And that creates problems all its own. Hypoglycemia, which is deadly. And your subconscious mind panics and says, if we don't get sugar in us, we are going to die. What's wrong? Where's the sugar? And the only defense your subconscious has at that point to keep you alive is to throw uncontrollable cravings and physical symptoms of weakness, of dizziness, of what happens to you when your blood sugar gets too low, and you will want sugar and probably start eating sugar. And the net effect of taking those 0-calorie things is you end up eating 10 times as much sugar anyway. And that's why there are so many people who say diet soda does not help you lose weight. If anything, it actually makes you gain weight because of that. So that's the addictive side of it. Not to mention, there may be some harmful chemicals that you don't want in your body as well. So that's, without getting any deeper down that rabbit hole, Peter, I hope that answers your question. And if you want to find out more about it, cephalic phase response, just look it up. There's tons of literature on it, and it is a real thing. And it's why diet soda just seems to make you hungrier. It doesn't solve anything. I've managed for the first time in my life to not have anything, not eat anything that tastes sweet for 2.5 years, and I've lost. I mean, I have no use for that crap anymore. But that's an individual thing. Some people can't give it up. Can't give it up. That's their cravings. They keep. That's why these foods that mimic addictive foods don't do you any good either. It just triggers all kinds of responses in your body, and when the real shit doesn't come, you crave it. And off you go. And it just is one of the main reasons that people sabotage any effort that they make, and they don't know why, and blame themselves. Oh, I'm just weak and all. No, you're not weak. You're an animal subject to the regulation of your needs for survival, and you can't do anything about that consciously. It all happens, and you're just a slave to it. Hence the term food slave, which is what most people are. Sybil V, how you do? That was a great question, though. Great question, Peter. I hope that answer made sense to you and everybody else. Sybil V, how you doing? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. And what else we got here? We have Jonathan asked me a question. Jonathan, where'd you end up getting your labs done? VA or Quest? I got them from the VA. I had thought about not going to the VA and going through ownyourlabs.com, which is Dave Feldman's deal, where you go to any Quest or whatever lab and they draw your blood and you just pay for them. And they're dirt cheap. And then nobody's involved and nobody gets the results except you. But I went to the VA. I do it once a year. I'm not worried if they know what my results are. I have, if they want to punish me because I have high cholesterol, there's nothing I can do about it. But I don't think that'll happen. They just keep. My doctor doesn't even want me on stat. She has to tell me to take them, but we've talked. I've explained all of this stuff to her, and she's a smart woman. I think she gets it, but if she wants to keep her job, she has to toe the line. Karen White says, hello from Canada. Question, how much coffee do you drink in a day? I drink 2, maybe 3 cups. My first cup of the day is always decaf. I don't want to put caffeine in my body first thing in the morning. And yeah, I know decaf has a little bit of caffeine in it, but I take my first cup in the morning. I put 2 drops of my iodine in there, and that's my first cup of the coffee. And then during the day, like this now is my second cup of coffee this morning, and it's got caffeine in it, and maybe my last cup of the day. That's one of the great things about this coffee warmer. When the coffee stays hot, you don't drink it as fast. You sip it. You enjoy it more. Whereas I found that as it cools down and starts to get cold, you just tend gulp it down just to finish it. This is still as hot as it was when I first made it. It's fabulous. And for those of you that haven't seen it, there it is right there, this thing, right here, this black thing. I set it to 145 degrees, and it keeps my coffee hot. It's great. I thank Francine Bourgeois for not only the idea, but for a super chat to buy it with. That was very nice of her. It changed my life and my relationship with coffee, because I drink less coffee because it's always hot. Maybe a quirk, may just be me, but again, I'm not that unique. I think it just gives me a lot more enjoyment out of a single cup of coffee rather than having to keep heating it up or freshening it with more coffee out of a big pot, because I used to drink a whole pot of coffee a day. Not anymore. I don't think it hurts. I see no ill effects from it. I think there's so many people that say caffeine actually has some benefits to it. There's always two sides to every story. Sometimes we tend to believe, like I always say, we believe what we want to believe, but that's our prerogative. Nobody can tell us what we want. That's an individual thing. I hope that answered that. And Gary, no slow. Question, Mitch. Do I get a discount if I order one shirt in every size? I'm thinking I'll eventually need them all in descending order, of course. No, I'm afraid not. I don't think they have any volume discounts. It's out of my control. I'd give you a discount if you ordered one in every size. I wouldn't order one in every size. I'd buy one maybe a little bit smaller than you normally wear, and then wait until you get skinnier, and then get another one if you want. I know that was not meant to be a real question, but it is a real thing that happens to us. I know I have no clothes. No clothes. I have no need for fancy clothes or dress. I don't go out anywhere. I don't go to parties. I don't work in an office. I don't even have a suit anymore. I have one sport jacket that somewhat fits, because I bought it when I was thinner at one point in my diet. I got too fat to wear it most of it, but I still kept it, and I have it. I haven't worn it in years. I have no, sad, but it's fabulous. I have no social life, and I don't want one. I don't need to impress anybody, so I don't go out of my way to. You see me in sweatpants, T-shirts, hoodies, and occasionally on one of my live streams, I'll throw a flowery, loud, tropical shirt on, because I like them. But I own 2 pairs of long pants, 2 pairs that fit, 2 pairs of jeans. They're skinny jeans, slim fit, something that gave me such a thrill to buy, because I had always browsed the husky aisles as a child, husky, and relaxed fit jeans, which had just a little extra stretch to them, a little extra room to them. Not anymore. Not anymore. I still can't get it through my head that I'm pretty much a skinny guy. Something I've never, ever been. And I like it. And I certainly like it when people say, "You're too skinny, Mitch." I say, thank you so much. That's the greatest compliment I could ever get. I fought for that my entire life. Finally figured it out. What else we got here? Looking for questions. You guys are coming through with the questions. This is great. And we're at 10 minutes to 10 already, so I better get my rear end in gear here. 9:14. Oh my God, I'm still a half an hour behind. Okay, time to stop looking for new people I haven't said hi to, except for Seaside. Oh, Mitch, you need medication to lower your testosterone. Yeah, I'm sure some doctor would probably tell me that. I don't think there is such a thing, to tell you the truth. And that would be a stupid thing to do. I think we're going to go long today, folks, but that's okay with me. Wow. Smoky corners. I don't have any windows open. There's no breeze flowing through here because it's still chilly, but it's comfortable. It's comfortable. Let's see here. Anna Crisal, I see a question. Mitch, do you always have meeting for members at 9 p.m.? No, it's 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The private community live streams on Thursday night starts at 7 Eastern and finishes at 9. That's when I got done last night at 9. And boy, I'll tell you, well, we could have gone. If I hadn't shut it down, we would have still be gone. We still would have been at it. We had a whole room full of people that just chatting away about everything and anything. Spanky's here. Hiya, Spanky. How you doing? Good to see you. Carnivorous Cat Bomb's got a question. What's your favorite cut of meat? Obviously a ribeye, like everybody else. You don't think it would be something cheap, do you? Like chuck roast? I mean, they're good. But, I mean, I love filet mignon. I mean, I love the texture of it and everything, but it has no fat, or not enough fat. So ribeye is a great combination. I love ribeyes. I like a lot of different cuts of meat, but you asked what was my favorite. I think I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one in that camp. Danny says he'll send me an email. We get connected when I come to ride motorcycles with Jim for the day. Yeah, that'd be great. Bring your drone. We'll run out to the park and I'll see if I still remember how to fly. I'm sure I do. Pamela Suarez says good morning to everybody. How you doing, Pamela? Thomas asks Jonathan if he lives near Bill Knott. Yeah, he lives in the same city, but I don't think he's ever met him yet. You know, Wasilla, Alaska. It's kind of a big town for Alaska, I guess. But no, I don't think he's ever met him. But yeah, he does live near to him. Let me scroll through this. Where am I up to? 9:24. Okay, I'm catching up a little bit. Sorry to be so behind. Question here from Anakazawa. Do you have this feeling on carnivore that you don't want to eat anything? A lot of people do. It means you don't need to eat anything. You get hungry when you need to eat. I never get famished. I never get really hungry. I've settled into a routine, and when it comes 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I haven't eaten since the afternoon before, I start thinking about food, and then I say I could eat. If I don't eat, it's okay too, but I could eat. And that's about as hungry as I get. There are some people that say they're just not eating enough, and it may be during the phase where you're adapting to carnivore, and in that case, maybe you need to eat even if you really don't feel like it to make sure you get enough food, because it's worse to not get enough food than to get too much food, because your metabolism will slow down, and you don't want that. That's what happened to all those people who were on these radical diet reality shows like The Biggest Loser. They almost invariably just completely trashed their metabolism for life, screwed themselves up, and ended up gaining back everything they lost and more. Pamela Suarez says, my hemoglobin is way up if I don't eat red meat but eat chicken, fish. I have no idea. It's really not my place to, that's what I consider personal medical advice, and I wouldn't even presume to advise you on a medical matter. And that's a medical matter. So I wish I could help you. That's something for your doctor, and hopefully you found a good one that understands. Joanne T., when going carnivore, did you experience migraines? I've never had a migraine in my life. Never had a migraine in my life. Again, I can't, if it hasn't happened to me, I'm not qualified to answer that kind of questions, Joanne. I wish I could. I wish I knew the answer without a question of a doubt that I could tell you, but I can't. I can't. If it's for a week, have you ever had migraines before? I mean, you know, there's so many things that make you different, a little different than everybody else, and it has to be. It's a problem that needs troubleshooting, and that's what doctors are supposed to do. They call it diagnosis, and you may have to see a doctor for something like that. Could be related to so many different things. I don't know exactly how you're doing carnivore, what you may be including in your diet, even if you're completely clean, strict, just beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. You don't hear too many people talk about getting migraines. I don't know how long you've been doing it, Joanne. If you're still within that first month, anything could happen to you. If you could tough it out, I don't know. I can't give you any advice. It would be irresponsible of me to say anything that causes you to take any action that might not only not work, but make it worse. And I would think that way even if I was the one getting the migraines. I would not presume to know what were causing them. If they continue, and you have a neurologist, I think that would be the person to talk to, and hopefully you have a good one. What do we got here? Looking, I'm moving faster now. Faster. And maybe somebody else in the chat has answered that for you and had the same thing happen to them, and they found out what the cause was, and they may share that with you and give you a clue. But I can't do that because I don't think I've ever had a migraine in my life. I don't get headaches ever. Oh, look at you guys chatting away. 9:40. Yes, I'm about 15 minutes behind. Okay, I'm starting to make some headway here. Here's a question from J. William Jordan. Question. Jeff, Chicago. When I started carnivore 388 days ago, my LDL was 132, now 151. My triglycerides were 156, now 68. My HDL was 47, now 52. A1C is 5.6. CAC scan is 46. This is typical progress for a male 65. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's probably typical and quite an improvement. Quite an improvement. Keep doing what you're doing. And congratulations. You have definitely improved most of those things. And there are a lot of people who go carnivore whose actual LDL goes down for some reason. It is where your body wants it to be based on the food you're eating, the fuel you're burning as energy, and how well you've adapted to burning fat over sugar, how long you burn sugar, how far you have to go. And I can tell you one thing that I probably know for sure is your numbers will continue to change as you continue to get healthier. You've been doing it over a year, and I can tell you from personal experience that at the end of 1 year, I was nowhere near what I am now in general overall health and everything. So it is not a quick fix. It is a complete transformation of your physiology. Sandy T wants to know what my exercise routine is. Well, I don't exercise as much as I used to. I don't go to the gym anymore. I have a little gym here at the house. Three times a week, I go in there for 15, 20 minutes, and I do some push-ups. I go for walks. Moderate. I mean, when I do exercise, I work. But, I'm pushing 78 years old. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder anymore. I'm trying to transform into being a strong for his age, healthy man, and I'm not interested in trying to see how ripped I can make my body so I look fabulous in a bathing suit because I'm not trying to attract anybody. I just want to be healthy, make sure I have enough strength, enough muscle that I don't have to worry about falling or losing my balance or any of the other things that happen to people when they get older. So I do the amount of exercise I think necessary, but it's not really a regimen where I go to the gym. I did that the first year or so I was carnivore. I started to really look great, and I was suffering from shoulder pain and other things, and I'm saying, you know, my poor joints have taken so much abuse in my life that not breaking things was every bit as important as my appearance. I just want to be healthy and strong. I want my bone density to be good. I don't want to break things. And I do a moderate. When I do exercise, it's usually high intensity stuff. I usually, when I do resistance bands or weights, I push it. I push it. I use the heaviest I can do. Not huge reps, but try to exercise my muscles to failure when I do exercise. I think that's the best way to exercise. But other than that, I don't make a big deal out of it anymore. Sometimes I say to myself, hey, maybe you should exercise a little more, Mitch. And I say, well, it seems to be working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right, I'm coming down the home stretch here, I think. I just got to go fast, go fast. Trying to speed read. Let me see. Looking for questions. As we get later in the chat, I'm almost up to 10 o'clock in the chat, so I am catching up here. I am catching up. And I've said it before, but I will say it again. It's gratifying to see the interaction among all you guys. It really is. It really is. J. William Jordan says, forgot to add my weight loss. Starting weight 289 now, 2.25. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Man, keep doing it. Whatever you're doing, keep doing. Don't worry so much about numbers. You'll know if it's working. Yeah, this happens to all of us. Carnivorous cat mom. I have a hard time believing I can wear small to medium-sized clothing. Yeah, after a lifetime of always shopping in the large section, when you put the first time when I slipped, my waist was 38, 40. At the worst, it was 42. And those two pair of jeans that I have now, skinny jeans, tight fit, are 32s. And it amazes me that when I button them, I don't even have to pull the buttons together. They just lay right where they're supposed to. 32-inch waist. I never thought that would ever happen to me. And it stayed that way for a long time. I don't go up and down at all. Not anymore. Okay. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. At the bottom of the chat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let me prepare to wrap this up. Let me check and make sure I thank anybody that has bought me a coffee. And Seaside bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. 3 coffees. Thank you. Thank you so much, Seaside. Congratulations on your high tea. See if your doc prescribes you any medication to lower it. No, I haven't seen my doctor since I got the results of these things. They don't normally do a testosterone test. That's not part of their norm. I had to request that, and I requested that from my doctor to prove a point to her. Because whatever you tell a medical professional, what your lifestyle is, they're horrified. They think you're nuts. So I told my doctor, I asked her, I says, I want you to check my testosterone. She said, why? I said, well, since cholesterol is the precursor for most of the fat-soluble vitamins and sex hormones, I'm just curious to see if having high cholesterol, which everybody tells me is going to kill me, isn't doing what it's supposed to, and has my testosterone a multiple of what the average male is in this country now, who's artificially lowering their cholesterol. And it comes back, I think it was 620, 629. I said, there, see that? This year it's 900. I haven't seen her since the 900 number came back. So I'm going to rub it in her face, basically, you know. And I think she's probably agrees now that I know what the hell I'm doing. And if nothing else, it's my body, and I'm the guy that's going to either benefit from it or pay the price for it. And she's been great, and she'll order anything, any blood test I need. And if I have a pain in my elbow, I got people to see. You know, if I have an accident or break things, and I don't care how healthy you are, you could still get run over by a bus, you know. So I like to stay. I like to stay with kind of current on my annual physicals at least, so they, you know, they know that it's not like, well, you haven't been here for 10 years or anything. But the VA, at least the one I go to, has a strict policy of autonomy. They do not force. They only recommend, and it's up to every veteran. They have at least respect for that, up to every veteran to decide for himself what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do. David has a question here. We'll make this the last one. Have you ever tried chuck eye steaks? Man, this is a good cut like a ribeye. Yeah, the reason that a chuck eye is like a ribeye is because they're adjacent to each other in the cow. And you don't get a lot of chuck eyes out of a chuck roll, which is the big primal cut that you buy. But there's a couple of them in there, and it's pretty much the very end of what becomes a ribeye as it kind of melds with the chuck roll part, where the chuck roast. There's also some steak, they call them Delmonico steaks in a chuck roll. There are a bunch of different cuts of meat in a chuck roll, and the chuck eye is one of them. Yes, if you can get them, and you can get them at a reasonable price, they're a terrific steak. And I've had them, but I haven't had them labeled at Sam's Club. I haven't seen them labeled chuck eye. It's part that they cut up the whole chuck roll and label it all chuck. And if you manage to find the right package, you can find some chuck eyes for the price of chuck roast, $5 a pound, $5.50. It's great. It's great. Don't find them very often. Don't find them very often. Well, my phone just went ding. Let me. J. William Jordan. Man, 5 coffees. Thank you so much. Always appreciate your dedication to all of us. Thanks, Jeff. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. Thanks for participating today. And good to see you, man. Hope to see you back more often. Jeff, okay, I'll remember what the J stands for next time I see you in the chat. If my old brain's working like I hope it is, I'll say hi, Jeff, like I do with so many other people. Anyway, thank you so much for the coffees. I think that was the last coffee. Anything else I need to deal with that any of you sent me, any Gmails or anything? I think that's it. I think I'm cut off. I think it's time to play a little happy music, give you a chance to say goodbye to each other in the chat. You got about a minute and a half while I, as usual, relight my cigar, which I haven't really smoked much of at all, but I enjoy it. Just feels good. It's a prop. Okay, my friends, still some hot coffee. God, I still got half a cup. Still got half a cup of this stuff. And try to pay attention and not leave somebody's name up on the screen all the way out through the outro, which I seem to do and don't notice it because I've got too many screens to look at. So today we'll try to leave you with a clean screen. Also today, I want to leave you with the Mitch Fitz logo up in the corner. Ha. I love it. I love it. And we're saying goodbye, and Dixie Scott saying goodbye. Steve McAvey, Tom in Tampa, Juan Miguel, Terry Sue, Sherry Morgan. Hiya, Sherry. How you doing? Good to see you this morning. And the music has ended. So goodbye to everybody else that says goodbye. See you in the AM. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. 8:30. Being the plumber, hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. And we'll do it again. So, had a great time this morning. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the coffees. Thanks for the company. I hope you had as good a time as I had this morning. And it's still early. The day is just starting, even though for me it seems like it's half gone already. And with that, my friends, with that, I'll look forward to seeing you again. Oh, one other little announcement. Last night, we kind of decided on the private community stream that it would be fun. And I know that some of you may politically differ with my political views, but in the name of unity and patriotism, on Monday night next week, Inauguration Day, I'm going to have a live stream open to everybody with a panel, and some people can come in, and we're going to celebrate just being Americans. And I think it would be a good idea. It was suggested by a number of different people. So Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We get everybody. At that time, we should get everybody. Probably go for a couple hours, maybe more. We'll see. Let's just let it go and celebrate our country, and celebrate being the healthiest human beings alive that are currently living in this great country of ours. So with that, my friends, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.